Melody's problem is she really needs to stop trying to turn everybody against me. Destin has been my friend way longer than she's been Melody's friend. And I'm not sure if they even have a real relationship. So my thing is, Melody needs to figure things out. We're divorced, and she needs to just move on with her life and stop trying to ruin mine.
Just when we thought the drama might settle down, something hits like a shockwave. Karma has finally come knocking, and it's hitting Martell Holt's girlfriend harder than anyone saw coming. At 39, she's being forced to face the music and pay the price for choices that seem to give her power, but may now cost her everything. Tonight, we dig deep: betrayal, secrets, heartbreak, and the moment when all the smoke clears. Will there be ashes left or a reignited fire?
Did you get everything in the divorce? I gave you a Melody that.
What, the cheese cutter?
Yeah.
You my girl, so it's definitely coming with me. Like, what? Actually, she said, you take this. This is from your friends.
Nah, you lying.
Oh, she said this. She said, you take this. This is from your friends.
Wow.
I want you to feel this story, to sense the tension, the hurt, the anger, as we walk through what led us here, what broke the trust, and how one woman's world might be crumbling around her. This isn't just gossip. It's a human story of ambition, love, deception, and consequences. So lean in, because the truth's coming out, and it's ruthless. She wasn't always in the spotlight. Before the glitz, before the cameras, she was a woman with dreams. Modest, hopeful, determined. Maybe like many of us, she pushed through small doors, hoping one would open wide.
Interesting, because she said you're friends with my ops, Martell and Tisha, and you and Martell talk on the phone every day. I said, good and damn well I don't talk to Martell every day.
Right.
She was like, well, I just feel like you should have cut him off. I said, so should I ask all the friends that I have that are mutual?
See, she is something else. She's trying to turn everybody against me. Like, if y'all want to listen
But
to...
that's so high school. I mean, because I can't ask you to not be friends with people from my situation.
It's not even right, though. I've been knowing Destin for how many years?
It don't make sense. And don't talk to anybody that I ever dealt with. It's impossible, and it's unfair to ask.
She met Martell Holt in a moment when both were seeking something: validation, affection, perhaps a spotlight they could share. For her, he was a key, a path into a world she'd only ever glimpsed from the edges. Early on, things looked perfect. She supported him, she stood beside him during interviews, smiling through the glare and the criticism. Fans whispered that she was ambitious, but she seemed genuine, doing her part, doing her best. Those around her saw someone willing to fight for her place, to carve out her own lane. Maybe she believed that love plus hustle would carry her through.
I decided to pop in on my longtime friend Martell because he knows Melody best. So navigating this crazy time that we're in, maybe he can give me some positive insight.
But behind closed doors, things were shifting. Whispers began: tension over money, disagreements about influence, questions about loyalty, rumors about betrayal. Some said she'd expected more than just girlfriend status. Others felt she resented being overshadowed. Somewhere along the way, admiration turned into ambition, and love turned into a battlefield. Bonds were tested, secrets lingered. The stage was set for something dramatic.
She ran like she always does instead of really facing.
Also, hold on. So she stormed off.
And I said, run like you always do.
Well, she don't hear something like she gone.
And you know of all people how I roll for her, even telling you how wrong you.
She became more visible. People watched her fashion choices, her social media posts, her interactions with Martell's world. Was she stepping too far? Was she overreaching? Some saw it as confidence, others saw it as overstepping. But until now, it remained just talk, whispers in comment sections, late-night speculation, hints dropped by insiders. Nobody could prove anything, and she kept performing the role: loyal partner, behind-the-scenes confidant, the woman standing by Martell's side. Through it all, she kept her face forward. She smiled, she posted, she acted like everything was fine. But cracks were forming. And like all cracks, they were invisible until they weren't. Until something happened so big it couldn't be hidden. until karma showed up uninvited, until payback time. Everything changed with a leak. What nobody expected was just how wide and deep that leak would go. It started small: texts, screenshots, business records, items that looked harmless at first glance, but when stitched together, painted a picture of betrayal. First came the messages, intimate notes from another, strategic conversations about deals, secret promises, and backdoor maneuvers. Then came the receipts, money transfers, bank statements, payments made to shell accounts. And finally, the bombshell. An insider revealed that she'd secretly invested in competing ventures, using resources drawn from their joint ventures. Betrayal, not just personal, but professional. The social media world exploded. Fans and critics alike pieced together the narrative. She used him, they said. All that loyalty was a mask. Clips resurfaced, tagged posts were scrutinized, and commentary ran wild. Everyone wanted a piece of the story. Influencers turned it into trending topics. Podcast hosts dissected line by line. The damage multiplied faster than any one person could control. But let's rewind to that moment when things turned real. She was called out in a public setting. Someone unexpectedly showed the receipts. In an interview, maybe during a podcast, or even in a club setting, someone confronted her face to face, asking, "Is that yours? Did you really move that money behind his back?" The room fell quiet. Everyone felt the weight. She stammered, she denied, she tried to redirect, but the evidence was laid bare, and there was no walking it back. Press fueled it. Headlines screamed. Martell's girlfriend exposed. Secrets, lies, betrayal. Mainstream media ran with it, grabbing every detail. The narrative went from personal scandal to public spectacle. Her side of the story surfaced: blame, hesitation, partial admissions. She claimed miscommunication. She claimed mixing business with love was tricky. She claimed she never meant harm. But those defensive statements felt shaky, brittle, like the logic of someone scrambling to protect their image. Meanwhile, Martell's position was delicate. He was associated, linked, involved. Some fans felt he was complicit, others felt betrayed. He scrambled to respond: statements, repairs, distancing. But in the court of public opinion, denials and defenses only add fuel. Every line he gave was dissected for tone, intention, reaction. Some saw pain, others saw damage control. As more came out, the layers peeled back. People discovered that earlier, subtle investments she denied were in companies Martell had tried to acquire. They found that she leveraged his name to gain favor in boardrooms. They traced patterns of behavior: late-night meetings, hidden accounts, unexplained deposits. It became impossible for casual fans to ignore. The narrative solidified. A woman who took more than she gave, who saw a partner as a stepping stone, who miscalculated her reach and now faced consequences. But it wasn't just business. The romantic facade cracked too. Reports surfaced of arguments, emotional distance, fights, tears. She allegedly complained about feeling undervalued, dismissed. He allegedly accused her of being opportunistic, using leverage. Insiders said they were screaming matches, slamming doors, ultimatums. The intimacy that bound them seemed frayed by ambition. What made this story so intense is how the betrayal isn't one-dimensional. It's not just finance. It's not just romance. It's the overlapping of two worlds, love and business, turned toxic. And when those worlds collide, the fallout is massive. When someone you trust becomes someone you question, the scars cut deeper. And then came the dominoes. Collaborators dropped ties. Investors distanced themselves. The backlash grew. Some events pulled invites. Some business opportunities vanished. The social weight of scandal became real consequences. Alliances fractured. Friends turned cautious. The spotlight turned cold. Through it all, she tried to fight back. a damage control post here, an emotional explanation there. But the wave had momentum. She seemed reactive, always a step behind. And in public perception, that's a tough place to be. The narrative solidifies early. Denial feels weak when stories are already told, retold, reshared. The emotional toll? Unimaginable. Imagine waking up each day with whispers in your ear, camera flashes in your face, your life under a microscope. She lost more than money and reputation. She lost trust. The person she built her life beside, the person she championed, now questioned her integrity. That kind of betrayal cuts to the core. Her relationships with close ones suffered. Friends who once praised her now asked cautious questions. Family who supported her faced pressure. Isolation crept in. She had to fight the court of public opinion while trying to protect her inner circle. Every move watched, every statement judged. Her mental health faltered. Anxiety, sleepless nights, tears behind closed doors. Self-doubt creeps in. Did I really cross the line? Was I too ambitious? Did I betray someone I loved? Or was I justified? The burden of being exposed is heavy. The pressure to respond, to salvage identity, to salvage dignity, it burns. Her career, too, felt the sting. Opportunities canceled, collaborations halted, projects shelved. People whispered, "Can't trust someone whose integrity is in question." Reputation, once a foundation, turned to quicksand. She had to question, was it worth it? Everything she did seemed now to be under scrutiny, doubted, reinterpreted. And Martell? He was pushed into emotional corners. Fans wondered, was he naive, complicit, a victim, a survivor? Their romance, once admired, now framed as cautionary. The one he loved, who was supposed to uplift him, now became a storm he had to weather. The heartbreak is real, not just for her, but for those who believed in her, for those who rooted for their love, for those who saw only the surface and were blindsided when the foundation cracked. We like redemption stories, we like comeback tales, but sometimes the fall is part of the journey too. Now, as the dust begins to settle, one thing is clear. Karma isn't kind, but she's consistent. At 39, she's facing consequences many would never expect at this stage, proof that no one is too established to escape accountability. What happens next will define her, not just for the scandal, but for her character. Will she own her missteps? Will she repair bridges? Will she rise or sink? Maybe she will shine through the ashes, launching a new chapter of authenticity and wisdom. Maybe she'll rebuild from the ground up, using this moment as a turning point, owning her truth, facing her demons, and walking forward with purpose. Or maybe the weight is too heavy, the wounds too deep, and the path forward too steep. Either way, the world is watching. For Martell, this moment will decide his narrative too, whether he is seen as someone used or someone betrayed, someone who fell or someone who refused to be manipulated. Their story, once romantic, is now cautionary. And for us watching, it's a reminder. Power, trust, ambition, they can intertwine in dangerous ways. When relationships become transactions, love becomes currency, and loyalty is measured in contracts, someone always pays. Here, the price may be steep. So tell me, do you think she can come back from this? Can honesty, humility, and patience rebuild what's been torn? Or has the damage gone too deep? Let me know your thoughts, and stay tuned because the next chapter is already unfolding.